No matter the role, the work of an Ingalls shipbuilder is both complex and inspiring. For over 86 years, the world-class shipbuilders at Ingalls Shipbuilding have designed, built, and maintained amphibious ships and destroyers for the U.S. Navy. Welcome to Inside Ingalls, a podcast that dives deep into the stories and perspectives of those who shape our legacy. Welcome back to another episode of Inside Ingalls. I'm your host, Katie Weldon, and today we have a very special guest. As always, today we have Scott Weldon, Vice President of Supply Chain Management and future shipbuilder retiree. So please help me welcome Scott. Scott, welcome.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to our fellow shipbuilders.
Of course. So let's dive right in. Looking back over your career at Ingalls, what moments or milestones are you most proud of and why?
Well, I've had a couple. Generally, it was while I've been in business management, I was a business manager on multiple programs. But the one thing I had consistent was always awarding new contracts, getting new contracts for our shipbuilders. I'm a third-generation shipbuilder, so I know what it means when my father would come home and say, hey, doesn't look like a good year. We may have a layoff because we weren't gaining work. So I always took it to heart that when I was negotiating contracts, it wasn't about the money, wasn't about this. It was about gaining work for our shipbuilders, so that no shipbuilder had to have to go home and tell their significant other that they had gotten laid off, didn't know how they were going to pay the house, the bills, and what it means to our community that when we have work, it's good for the community.
I know you've gotten to see a couple of special things too, like the trip to New York.
Yeah, and that was the other proud moment I had was on the LPD program, the USS New York. I got to go to the commissioning in New York, and we had the World Trade Center steel from the towers embedded in the bow of that ship. But going there and actually hearing firsthand from 9/11 survivors and those who experienced it, especially the first responders, just put so much emphasis and relativity to the importance of that ship and what it meant to them and to the city. I was very proud to be recognized as a shipbuilder and had a part in delivering that ship to the Navy and to the city of New York. So that was really unique.
Very proud moments too. Ingalls has changed a lot throughout the years from, culture, technology, the ships, the people. From your perspective, what are the biggest changes that you've seen and how did they shape the way we work today?
Well, when I first came in, it was Litton Ship Systems, and then I got to be through the acquisition with Northrop Grumman and then our divestiture into HII. And what I've liked is how we have evolved corporately stewardship and giving our people benefits and the professionalism that's come with each of those changes in the culture. Mindful, always be lockstep that it's about Ingalls shipbuilding. I'm focused on Ingalls shipbuilding, but it's been nice to have that corporate stewardship and to see that evolution for the better back to our workers.
With our workers, I guess speaking to them, like what lessons or values do you hope shipbuilders, especially the next generation, take away from your leadership and carry forward after you retire?
Luckily, I've never had to apply for a job other than the first one I got here at Ingalls. I answered a paper. I wanted to come back to Biloxi, where I'm originally from, and it was either go to work for the casinos or for the shipyard. I applied for an internal audit out of the paper and got an interview, and the first person I met at the door was Kathy Norman. She was previously the executive admin for the president, but then she was over in finance. And she took me on 5 interviews. Not a one of them was what I had applied for. But on the way home, driving back to Hattiesburg, I got a call and they offered me a job, and I said, well, which one? Luckily, I was able to come in. But the point of all that is coming in, focusing on the job that you have, becoming the subject matter expert of the job you have, that there is no one better than you at that job, and they have to come to you and ask those questions. The next one will follow. And that was the experience that I had, that I did the job to my best of my ability so that they always came to me and asked what was going on, and I was on top of it. And then the next opportunity afforded itself. When the opportunity knocks, answer the door. Sometimes it'll become like a sacrifice. I was working on the Team Deepwater program. That was the Coast Guard program in the early days, and we were setting up a joint venture with Lockheed Martin, and the program manager asked if I'd be willing to relocate to D.C. With the joint venture, and I said yes, I'd be willing. So he went to the CFO at the time, Bob Spiker, and told him I was willing to go to D.C. And Bob said, "Oh, Scott's willing to relocate? Oh, good." So Bob came over and talked to me, and he pulled me in the office, and he says, "Scott, I understand you're willing to relocate." And I said, "Yes, sir, I'll do whatever the company needs me to do. I've already talked to my family. They're all in. I'm willing to do that and looking forward to it." And Bob said, "Good, I need somebody at Avondale." And I went, "Uh-oh, ruh-roh, what happened?" But it turned out great for me. I moved over to Avondale, did common systems, got on Sea-Lift program, Polar program, then the LPD program. The only shortcoming of that was I had to move my family in with my mother for a year while we built a house over in Avondale. And then we moved back 1 year later, and they still give me fits that they weren't upset about the move. They were upset that I made them live with my mother for a year. But came back over to Ingalls, and it was the best opportunity for me, a lot of sacrifice, but it turned out for the best for us.
I can confidently say that you have cemented your legacy, and the impact that you've made to hundreds, probably even thousands of shipbuilders can't be understated. So on behalf of everyone here at Ingalls Shipbuilding, we want to say thank you for your years of service and dedication.
Well, thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to my fellow shipbuilders.
Of course. Is there anything else you want to add?
Nope, just stay focused and take care of the legacy that we're handing off to the next generation.
Excellent. Okay. On behalf of Ingalls again, thank you, Scott, for your time today.
Thank you.
All right. We'll catch you on the next one.